Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where I'm going to help you with some tips on how to drive in unfamiliar areas. Maybe when you're lost in the middle of nowhere, you don't really know where you are at all and you want to keep safe. Well, I'm currently in Devon in the southwest of England on Dartmoor, which is one of the most desolate and isolated places I've ever been to. Now here there are some houses around. It may not look too bad, you think, well, that's just a main road, but quite soon we are going to be in the middle of nowhere where all you'll get are things like sheep. I'm going to drop to third because the speed limit's 40 and I'm going down a hill, so the engine might sound a bit loud, but it's quite a big hill, fairly steep, and I'm sticking to the speed limit. I am aware the car behind has not been sticking to the speed limit because they've been tailgating a while back. They've dropped back a bit now. I think we got some temporary lights back there and I might have seen the GoPro light flashing recording or something, but they are driving more carefully now since that. But you've got to keep your distance. Do not ever get right up the back of the car in front. All it will do is annoy them. If you think that you're going to intimidate someone in front of you, you're going to scare them into driving faster, you're just an idiot. You're not going to scare them into driving faster. You're going to annoy them, and if anything, they have to slow down, because if someone behind you is driving too quickly, I'm just turning the heated front windscreen on there, if they get too close behind me, I have to then slow down, so I've got more braking distance. And the people behind often think that you do need to annoy them, and they then get more annoyed, and they are causing all the problems because they're the one driving too close, too fast, and they're making you have to slow down. If they weren't so close, you'd be going faster. And that's something bad drivers often don't realise, is they don't understand that good drivers are driving for them. So they think, oh, look at this idiot, they're going slow, what they're doing. I can promise you I know exactly what I'm doing. I can come into third for these bends, waiting for the apex, accelerating away. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's people who drive close behind you who don't know what they're doing. Dropping to third here, letting the hill slow me down, accelerating when I reach the apex. When you can see the point where the road gets away from you, you can accelerate away and off you go. That's some advanced driving stuff. It's known as chasing the apex or chasing the vanishing point, all these different names people come out with. So you can hopefully see on the video, because I know it's quite dark, we've got some dotted lines, now a dotted line all down the middle, so either side, either way could overtake. The arrows are saying get over if you're overtaking from the other way. I can speed up a bit because I can see quite far ahead, and the car behind has dropped back quite a way now. And this is where it gets really bleak and desolate. Again, sorry if the video is dark. I haven't yet got my new nighttime cameras, which I will have soon, but I'm doing the best I can with the kit that I've got. So this is Dartmoor, which is just barren wilderness for miles. There's fog, there's a massive pothole there, there's sheep, there's a van coming towards me. I can overtake because I've got the dotted lines, but I can't overtake from the other way because I had the solid line, and the feeder arrows are saying get back over. I am going to put my fog lights on now, front and rear, because the fog is getting so that you can't see at least 100 metres. This is one of those places, it's just always foggy. And in case you wonder why I'm wearing a white t-shirt when the weather's so bad, I have got a warm coat or whatever in the boot, the trunk if you're American. But I'm wearing this white, so I might show up on the video a bit better. So yeah, I'm driving along the road, it's good, the view ahead, the car behind is now way back, and I have got the automatic main beam engaged, which means that when the car sees fit it will engage the full beam. It's not doing it now because it's probably not dark enough. I've only ever used that, I think once, and that car behind is now gone way back. Cattle grid coming up soon. If you hear a funny noise like a it's when I go over a cattle grid. I can see a car coming ahead, watching out for sheep. You get sheep in the road around here a lot. I'm ready to brake. I'm not going to use cruise control because it should not be at the appropriate time. You don't want to be cruising when you could have bends coming up and I'm making good use of the sat nav so I can see the road's quite straight. I know he had bit, because like I said, I've been here once before earlier today, about 3 or 4 hours ago, but I wouldn't say I know it by any means. So I'm doing 50 miles an hour. I can see far enough ahead that I know there's no one in front of me that's going the same way as I am. The one behind is dropping way back, but my fog lights are on so they can see me. I've got these red studs on the left of the road, which tells me that's where the end of the road is. So if it's really, really bad, you can see that, you know that's where the end is. There are white studs in the middle of the road, so I know that's where the white line is. I've only ever driven once when it was so bad I had to rely on those studs, and they're lifesavers because you just could not see the road at all. It is getting quite bad now, so I'm keeping my speed down. It says 40, the car's going to beep. There you go, I predicted that because it thinks the speed limit was 40 from that sign. It wasn't. That was warning me it was coming down 100 yards from now. I'm already down for a 39 in third gear, braking a little bit to keep the speed down because of the hill. But yeah, that was the car beeping, so I'm speeding, but I'm not because it read the advanced warning sign as the speed limit sign. So I'm braking just a bit. I might consider turning my fog lights off now, although it's still quite bad, so I will leave those on. And this thing is I'm doing 38, as you can see. Mine says 40, that says 38. Getting your speed over here, every car I've ever had, always underreads a bit. I'm checking my middle mirror, braking down to 30, saying your third gear. So this is just what I'm thinking when I'm driving. This is like advanced driving, you do commentary like this on advanced driving tests. And I'm also following the sat nav, which the sound is turned off on. I can see a crossing coming up. Again, it's beeping, I'm not speeding, it just beeps every now and then. Sometimes it thinks the limit is 20 or whatever for some reason, but it's not, so it beeps away. Sometimes it beeps even if it says, like earlier I was doing 48 and a 60 and it says you're speeding doing 48 and a 60. So this is only a guide, it's not meant to be, you know, like a legal thing. It does say when you turn the car on, it's a guide only. So the thing is, never go by this, because this can often be wrong. It's pretty good. Let's see if it spots a national sign coming up, because it's got a camera above the one you're seeing, the front camera, and it should see the national sign. Yep, it's a bit slow, but it's picked it up, so off I go. See, it said I was speeding, but I wasn't, because I was doing 33 in a 60 zone, but it hadn't quite changed. So these things are great, technology is great, but none of it, I don't care what car you've got. People say, oh, I've got one of these cars and it's futuristic and blah blah. It's still not as good as me, I can promise you. It's not as good as a human with instincts who knows things. Technology is great, it's got a place, but I don't think it's ever going to replace humans, because technology has no instinct. And sometimes all you get is an instinct. You know, the car behind's gone way back, that car's driving very strangely. It's one of those like 40 drivers where no matter what the limit is, they're just going to do 40. In the 30 zone they're doing 40, and in the 60 zone they're doing 40. And they're causing a huge jam behind them. After tailgate to me, and they're now causing a massive jam because they're going too slowly. So there you go. So 0.8 miles I'm turning left. I've got the sat nav voice turned off because I didn't want it distracting me and distracting you. And I hope you can see all this because it is quite poor, the weather. I can see I'm covering the brake and actually braking. I've got some signs to the right. These don't mean third gear, but I always find that when you get those chevron signs, you're better off getting hiccups and going down to third. I also get hiccups in my videos because I have to talk so quick and whatever. So accelerate away, no rush, I'm not in any rush to get anywhere. I'm actually going to investigate a haunted road. If you want to watch that video, there'll be a link at the end of this one and on the screen now. Yep, I'm driving to investigate a road where apparently this ghost throws people off the road. So I've come to investigate and see what I think. So yeah, that was a bit of Dartmoor. It's not the worst part. If I remember, that's coming up in a bit where we go left. Yeah, and it gets pretty desolate, so I'll show you this. Is it this road? No, I'm not going that way. No, I'm cancelling that early. That's a good tip. You see, I was going to get left, but the car beyond's way back. No one would misread what I'm doing. I would not have done that if that car was really close. But I went that way earlier today, and there's not a road you want to be driving on in this weather. So you can always change your mind if there's time. If that car had been behind me and close and I was braking, I wouldn't have changed my mind. I would have committed, think I've done it, that's it. But there's nothing wrong with changing your mind if you do it safely. So I'm going to go this way. I'm still not going to go that way. That's a stupid way it's taking me. He wants me to go down all these horrible little side roads, and I'm not going to go down those. I'm carrying on, because even though I don't know where I am, I know enough to know that those are small side roads, and I don't want to go down there. It's like an industrial estate. It's taking me down there to go back up that way. So I'm ignoring the sat-nav. Again, now it's got where I want to go. Human instinct beats technology, folks. Because see, that way would be like 1 metre shorter, or a few seconds quicker. I'm going to turn my fog lights off now, it's not getting so bad. But yeah, it doesn't know what I know. I know those roads are quite poor, even though I've only been on them once. There's no point in going a metre less if you have to keep slowing down. Nice pub on the corner there, the Trout and Tipple. I'm not a drinker, but it looks like a nice old pub. Speed limit's now 40, something 38, the car behind's way back. I'm going to turn left in the behind. I know that's the turn I took before, because it's saying it's a very sharp turn. I'll put the sat-nav on so you can hear what I'm seeing, as you were. Dropping down to 30, coming down to 30, no need to brake much because I'm already doing about 30 now and the car behind is way back. So this is just like a bit of commentary driving, a bit of like how to keep yourself safe, space, a bit of everything really. I didn't plan this, so I just did it when I'm on the way. So some lights coming up, and you can remember this, like I remember earlier today, these were the only set of lights I passed on the whole journey. So it's a bit like a landmark. Normally traffic lights wouldn't be any help because they're everywhere, but around here there were so few of them. You think on the way back, when I get to those lights I know where I am. So I'm going to go left. The sat-nav will talk soon. It'll start telling me where to go. It'll say sharp left, I think, because it looks like a very sharp left. So in a moment, listen out for the sat-nav. 0.2 miles, should say it soon.
In a quarter of a mile, make a sharp left turn onto B 3357.
Yep, that's good. I always remember doing this on a driving lesson once, not this road, but one in Birmingham. And me and the pupil couldn't stop laughing because the voice said, turn onto the A4040. And it was so funny the way it said it. He was saying 4040. I'm going to turn now.
Make a sharp left turn now.
Yeah. Sharp left second, big turns of the wheel.
Proceed on Mount Tabby Road. Yeah,
it's the sat-nav said, take the 4040. And he was just making us laugh the way he was saying it. Yes, so got to be aware, no entry sign up there, very narrow road here. But this is much better than the one he would have taken us on. You don't want to go on that road. I'll do another video on that because I've actually driven it. And I was the only car I think the whole way down. There might have been one coming the other way. The very narrow road, I might do again, I'm not speeding, it's just beeping, it's the wrong speed again. I might do a relaxing drive video on that one, where I just drive with no commentary, what I call my relaxing drive videos. So, checking around, because sometimes people think, oh, it's so quiet around here, I'll just jump over the line and give way. 7 miles-ish till I get to where I'm going, this haunted road. So yep, just going to carry on. It is searched on this road, it's just that sometimes this goes off the camera, but if you can't read because of fog or whatever, it goes off the sat-nav. And even though I've updated the maps, they're quite old. They're not like Google Maps or anything. So back to National, got his sign for people, pedestrians. Doesn't mean children, now a lot of people say it means children, it's about pedestrians. So I can see just about, it's not too bad. Surprising how big the hill is. So I'm in third and it's okay, but it's It's a surprisingly steep hill. When the roads are wider, and I know you can't see as well as I can on the camera, it's quite dark and grainy, I know. I can't see it, but I know from experience of using this camera for years. When the road is so wide open, it's easy to misjudge how steep it is because you don't see the gradient. So I'm thinking about using my main beam here. I can flash it and put it off, because anyone the other way would see my lights flashing on silver sign. It's not too bad here, but the other road I was doing that quite a bit. I was flashing my lights. It was daytime, but it was still dark. No one behind, so I can go reasonably fast because I can brake hard, but I'm being aware that horses and whatever could be around here. I doubt it. I don't think you'd be riding a horse in this weather. I can see some lights ahead from a car, so I know they're going to be ahead. You can use a car ahead sometimes as like a snowplough, what I call a snowplough. So the aim is to keep that car in view, and then if they slow down, they're warning you of a hazard, but they're a bit far ahead to be doing that. Don't just blindly follow them and tailgate them. That's not a very nice lay-by. If you pull in there, you're going to get a puncture or something. Very bumpy. So don't just tailgate, don't be right on the back of someone to get out there doing all the work. That can be very annoying. Much better lay-by there. Be careful of those lay-bys. I've said before, I had 2 brand new tyres on this car, all weather, best you can get tyres, cost about £150 each. And the first time I ever used them and gave way in a little ditch like that, I got stuck. I couldn't get out to reverse and go down the hill and drive on the road. Yeah, so the view's good, so I'm going to be quicker. 6.6 miles to get to where I'm going, about 18 minutes or so. There's a car behind, so no pressure, but I can go reasonably quick to not delay them. Crossroads where I have right of way because I've got the thick line, but again, people might jump these, so I'm covering the brake, checking to the right, ready to brake hard. No one's behind too close. I could brake, past the point of return, off I go. That's a good point. People often say you passed the point of no return, which is kind of wrong. I can't explain that well when I'm driving, but if you're past the point of no return, it's too late. You pass the point of return, not past the point of no return. I can't explain all that when I'm moving, but there is some error in that language. Anyway, it's been a long day. Just now I've been driving for about 5 hours, not non-stop. I've had a break of about 3 hours, but I've been driving quite a bit today. But I feel good because I've been using the car's assistance modes. So lane assist, cruise control on the motorway. It really helps if you've got cruise control. Check out my video on that. Cruise control is the number one thing I would choose in any car. It means you can just put this thing, you can do this, I do it briefly, and you can take your feet off the pedals. Don't take them away and put them on the dashboard. But you can put your feet slightly off. It makes such a difference. If you do a 3 or 4 hour drive with cruise control, you get out the other end, you don't even know you've driven. Without it, your foot is aching and cramped, your legs stiff, depending on your car, of course. I would not be without cruise control, ever. It's the number one thing I just love in cars, it's so good. Check out my other video for that, and I'm just turning the heated front windscreen on again. I think this is coming up to the very desolate part. It's not that desolate now anyway. But I wanted it to be dark because I'm driving this spooky road in the dark, so that's what that's all about. I'm going to drop to third again, I'm in fourth, but it struggles a bit. It's quite deceiving how big this hill is. Warning of a cattle grid, so listen out for the sound, 40 miles an hour. Listen out for this cattle grid sound now. Sheep on the left. Being careful to brake, so lots of sheep around here. And yeah, I'm just going to continue on. This is not a place you would want to brake down. Right in the middle of Dartmoor, in the rain and the fog at night, not a place to brake down. But I've checked my car well, I've serviced it well. I'm going to put the fog lights back on. So yeah, ironically, I look after my car a lot. I look after it really well. I'm not a mechanic, but I do my services, whatever, as much as I can, as best I can. Never had a problem really with this car, apart from when I first had it, a couple of little things, which were nothing. And then when I went to get in it yesterday, I thought I'll give it a final check before I come out today. And a sign came on, change engine oil soon. But it was just a routine service thing. It's going for service in about a month. So anyway, very desolate here. You would not want to break down here. You would not want to get a flat tyre. There were people camping here. Not for me, thanks. Might be quite fun, I suppose. We've got fog lights on through the day. You do not want to put tyres on the grass. You'd be off into the ditch. So I'm keeping on the road. I could activate lane assist here. You press this button and it actually steers for you. It makes the wheel go stiff. And it, like a sheep in the road, going to brake a bit there in case he runs out. It makes the wheel go quite stiff. It feels like someone's steering for you, which is actually what I've come here to investigate. This apparent ghost that grabs your wheel and steers for you. Surprising here how I'm staying in third, I'm going down a hill, but it really doesn't look, I'm braking now to keep at the limit, and it really doesn't look like a downhill, but it is. It's very deceiving because it's so long and gradual and it's such a wide open view. Coming into a little village here with the Dartmoor in, and it's getting really foggy. I know you won't see much on the camera, and I am getting better cameras soon. I wanted to do this as the last trip in these cameras, stick with the old faithful. I didn't want to be faffing about with new cameras. You know what it's like when you get a new camera and all, you know, fiddling with it and messing about with it, and I haven't got time for that. I just wanted to stick to what I know for this trip. Staying in third, not going to get fourth, or it would struggle a bit. Classic learner mistake that, don't go to high gear on a road like this. Sometimes people say it's revving. I know you won't hear the engine that well from this lapel microphone. Doesn't matter if it's revving, you know, that's what it's for, it's an engine, it revs. You don't want to change up and have it spluttering and stalling. You got to think about saving fuel, but you don't want to be no good saving fuel if you're stalling and causing a crash. So I'm staying in third, very steep. It doesn't come across on the video, I know. There's a warning triangle there, it's saying about road. No, it's backwards, I thought it was saying about road on the left. It's saying about the gradient 12% the other way. See, I'm good, I can read signs backwards. Actually, I remember it from earlier today, if I'm being honest. But yeah, watch these lay-bys. There is one lay-by here, I might put a link to in the description. I don't know if it's just the way it is or someone's done it as a joke, but they've actually put a huge stone half in the floor as you come off the lay-by. So if you go in that lay-by, you're going to hear a on the bottom of your car, the under tray is going to scrape all down that stone. I wouldn't want to go on that lay-by. I noticed that on maps before I came out. Still more fog. Hope you're enjoying the video. It's very, very foggy. I can see about 50 metres ahead. When it's below 100 metres, you need your fog lights on. They're still on front and rear. And you can tell the front because the front one's green with like a wavy line, and the back one is orange. And so I'm concentrating on the road, so I'm not talking too much about those. But there are different symbols for your fog lights front and rear. The back one is like a straight line. I'm just trying to explain it so we keep miles on the road. You'll see what I mean. The rear fog is a line to the right of the light, and the front one is a green line to the left of the light. It's a bit confusing, but in my car it's colour coded. So the front fog light's the same colour as the front lights. So yeah, if the wavy line is on the left of the fog lights, left is front, right is rear. I remember 2 R's, right is rear. So fog lights right, the wavy line to the right of the symbol, right is rear. Cattle grid. And I'm going to carry on for a little bit more. I'm watching the sat nav because I am going to turn off in a bit, but not just yet. 2 bridges, that's where I'm going. Princetown I'll be going to tomorrow. I'll be going down that road there tomorrow morning. I'm following ahead. I'm not going to pull up on this road because I pulled up earlier, but it would not be ideal to pull up on this road and move off again in these conditions. Braking because the hill can pull us down. And there are different beeps in this car. The beeps can be speed, it can be lanes, it can warn you of things like ice, whatever, so the beeps mean various things. I'll turn the lane thing off. The lane assistance works over 40 miles an hour, or 40 plus. So earlier on I pulled in one of these. It's one of these where the stone is. Is it that one? No, it's not. That's where I pulled in earlier. But I'll leave it there for now because I'm going to go and do the other video now. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Check out these other videos on the screen now. And do let me know if you'd like to see the other ones I mentioned about the roads around here. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.